And welcome to another Libre quick tip here on this channel. I had a comment by one of the viewers on one of my videos. Had a question about adding grips on steering wheel. How do you go about creating the little notches on the back side of your steering wheel for finger grips? So I thought I'd take a few minutes to go through a process that I think, well, at least I use to create that, and hopefully it'll be helpful. And if anyone has comments or other suggestions, please leave them in the comments. So to begin with, let's start with a sketch on the ZX plane here. Well, actually on the XY plane first. And it'll be a circle here. We'll grab this and we'll make this 35 and make this horizontal from the origin. At a location, we'll have a radius on this revolve about 170 millimeters, and then just revolve it around here, so that gives us the rim of our steering wheel. Now there's two methods that I'll show here. The first one is going to be pretty simple, and all I'm going to do here is I'll come up here and I'll add a new plane, grab the ZX plane and the central axis, the y-axis, and we'll change this to about 10 degrees and hit reverse here to get it so that it's oriented, in this case leaning to the right, so that our direction is going to be at an angle up in this way. So click apply and close, and now on this new plane we'll grab and activate a new sketch, and we'll draw another circle, and we'll keep it at 35, same as our diameter of the rim. And we'll also make this vertical from the origin. There we go. Let me just orient this to the plane. Now the next thing is, how far into this wheel are we going to cut this notch? Because basically we're going to do an extrude cut through the base of this rim to create our finger grips. So how far do we want to make this? Now we can just throw a dimension on here and guesstimate it, but if you want to have some control, say 35 is going to be, it's just going to be tangent now. So if we go here, say 25, okay, that might be a little bit deep. Say 30. Okay, that might be what you want to, but another method you could try is, what's the width of the notch going to be? So if you look at, if you want to have that simulating maybe like the thickness of your finger, we'll just draw a horizontal line here across here for a chord dimension, and we'll dimension this at say 25, and then we'll dimension to this line from the origin at the radius of our rim, which is 35 divided by 2. And now we've got that right on this chord line's right on the tangent to the rim. And now we'll just do an extrude cut. Yep, extrude cut. And we don't want to do it through all, because that's going to notch on both sides. So we'll just do a distance to depth, and we'll just grab our little cut arrow node here and drag that through so it goes through the rim, and that produces our little notch. Next thing is to do a circular pattern, and we want to select our angle increment option here, and we'll set this at let's say 10 degrees, and grab our center axis, and then let's change the direction so that we're cutting to the top of the wheel, and okay that. And then the last thing we want to do is let's fillet those edges, and let's say put a 5 millimeter fillet on there. Now you can select each one of these individually, but if you just grab the grab the rim, the face of the wheel, it'll fillet all of those edges for you. And then click close. And to get them on the other side, let's do a mirror. Grab the pattern, the fillets, and the original, and then get our mirror plane. And there we have our finger notches at our 10 and 2 positions for the steering wheel. But these are just straight notches, and they might not be all that comfortable because they're just straight through the bottom radius of the steering wheel. So let's take a look at a method for putting something that's a little more contoured that might be easier on your fingers when you're gripping them. So I'll just start a new config here. So I'll rename this one as a straight notch, and we'll add a new one here and call this one curved notch. Leave everything locked, and we'll make this active, and we'll just suppress all these features here, including our plane. Okay, so this one will take a little different setup. So the first thing we want to do is establish a plane that'll be on the radius of the wheel and be tangent to the center line of the wheel radius. And in order to do that, we'll have start a sketch, grab a line, go from origin, and just place that out here, and we'll have dimension this, we'll put this at 10 degrees. And then our length, we'll just make this equal to our sketch 1 radius dimension of 170. And then with the sketch still active, come up to your insert menu and select plane. And now it's going to drop that at the origin, so move the slider all the way to the opposite end and click apply, and then close. So now we have this plane that's going through our wheel on the center line of the wheel radius, and on this plane we're going to draw our arc for the cut. So we'll draw another circle and make this 35, and again we'll make this vertical to the origin, and again we'll draw our reference line horizontal and dimension that at 25, and place that again at our 35 divided by 2, the radius of the wheel. Now we need an axis here to rotate this around. So get out of our sketch. We're going to go to insert axis, grab our new plane and the ZX plane, and that puts an axis right through the center of our wheel. But if we use that axis as our rotation, it's going to cut all the way around the wheel rim, and that's not what we want. So we select your axis and our new plane. Now we can key in a value for offsetting. So if we can say let's go 15, and we want to make this go above the first plane or axis, so we hit reverse so it goes to the top of the wheel, and click apply, and then close. Now when we do a revolve cut, grab our circle and our new plane, or axis rather. Notice that the preview shows that it's going through the bottom and missing everything above, and click OK on there, and now we have a curved cut through our wheel that we can fill it, pattern and fill it, and it'll be more comfortable on the hand when it's in use. So hit our circular pattern again, grab our cut, grab our arc and our axis in the middle, and reverse, change direction, okay that, and then fillet, put our 5mm fillet on there, and close that, and mirror, fillet, the pattern, the original, and our mirror plane, and there we have a curved cut through our wheel now. Now the beauty of this design or feature procedure, come back into our equation editor, and if we look at our last axis 9, we're at 15. If we say we move this down to -10, which is moving it closer to the center line of the wheel rim, hit tab and OK. Notice what happens is the cut now has got more curvature. It's cutting up further up the side of the wheel on the rim, which gives you a little bit better, maybe a little bit better grip feel in that regard. So let me turn off the sketches, turn off the planes, and there you have a curved cut. And if we go back to our original, there's our straight cut. So you have two methods of creating finger notches in your steering wheel. And so either one, hope to find useful, and hope this helps you. So thanks for watching.